Okay, hello. Hiya. This is once again Michael Angus from Comedy Horse Productions. Nay. Yep. I just say nay, but it's a continuous thing. Mine. I have just said my name. Hmm. Yeah. So if you haven't watched before, my name is Michael Angus, and we do a mix here. Or a mixed bag. We do filming things. Like written up things like acting, directing, writing. I'm pretty sure I just said writing. Yeah, and also we do vlogging, which is what I'm going to be doing today. And so today we're going to go into the unknown with, firstly, Frozen 2, and then, hopefully, you'll be back with Hamilton, because these two have something in common. They have recently arrived on Disney Plus, which happened yesterday. And so I thought it'd be right to put them both in a video. And yes, these two have been they equally blew me away in equal measure, because, well, they're both very different, but I was surprised by both. And I think, starting with Frozen 2, I heard that it was, a bit darker, and there was more songs. That was pretty much all I really heard about that movie. And they were absolutely right. I think with, I didn't expect certain things to happen. I knew that certain people would return in the end, but I didn't think that they would get rid of characters like that, at least for a little bit. Yeah, and it made me think, oh my god, what must the kids have felt in the cinemas when they saw dying. And you know what? Sod it. I just said sod it because, Frozen 2. When Elsa froze, and then, well, again, and then Olaf turning into like snow, which was just, that was pretty heartbreaking, just the way they did that. And Anna just holding him in her arms was just so upsetting. And yeah, yeah, and the emotional roller coaster we go through with that movie, and just what we find out about the history of Erindale and anyone else's grandfather, and just, I think they had a much bigger scope than the last movie. The last movie is great. I have a lot of love for Frozen, but I think there, I guess there needed to be more. There was more substance, which I think felt needed there, and there were certain things that were great about Frozen, which I won't go into because this is Frozen 2. But yeah, we know the characters much better now, and so we can really delve deeper into their lives, and we very much do that. And also with the songs, oh my word, the songs were great. Into the Unknown was so overwhelming. I mean, like, I've heard it a few times. The first time I heard it was at the Oscars, which you can watch on another channel, which I did with my mate Ben at 5 Minutes Spare. You can see my reaction to that, and I loved it in the movie as well. I thought it was so effective, and just seeing it in the movie, I thought was just bigger and sort of better. And one of my personal favourites was Lost in the Woods. I love 80s songs. I think 80s music is probably I think we peaked at a certain place in the 80s, and we're like, yeah, this is good. And who doesn't love an 80s power ballad? I think Christoph just smashed it. Jonathan Groff, of course, who we will also get to in not too far in the future. I think he just killed it as Christoph. And Lost in the Woods. It's just it's not what you expect from Frozen. You expect it to be like, oh, it's a very Disney song, but no. And throughout that whole film, Christoph was trying to propose to Anna, and I think, he was more. I mean, he's definitely not a damsel in distress, but I feel like the gender roles kind of swapped more or less in this movie, with like the strong females leading this. Which is quite interesting to watch. And I also loved the representation. There was I'm not sure what his name, but he was the main guard in the woods, and he was black. And also, what I liked about that was the fact that they didn't talk about that. It was just like, it was fine. It was naturally fine, and all of them were just generally sort of mixed race as well. And like, there was nothing. It was, that's how it should be. We don't have to. We shouldn't have to talk about those kind of things. Just like, we should just be fine with it. And I think Frozen 2 just captured that perfectly, and that was excellent. And yeah, I think all around it was lovely. It was very much Disney, and at the same time they took it to different lengths, which they can when they've has characters which people know and love, and you can push that now. And that's what I love about TV shows, and how we get to know these characters, and then like you can sort of complicate things. And that is exactly what they have done with Frozen 2. And yeah, I think there is so much that they tackled, and they did a great job. And I'd quite like to have a Frozen 3. Not gonna lie, I would. I have a lot of love for the animation. I have a lot for the characters in general. Anna is personally my favorite because she's very nice and quirky, and just like relatable in all senses. And I think we have never had a princess quite like Anna, I don't think. And she's one of my favorite princesses just in general. And now Queen. She's a queen now. Mind you, so is Elsa at the same time, but like they're in different places now. And also the little lizard is very cute. Very, very cute. And Gale was quite sweet as well. Which I think Disney are so good at creating really lovable animated characters, which we just fall for. And like with Olaf in the first one, which of course Olaf is great in this one as well. And Josh Gad, I love Josh Gad, Kristen Bell. Indina Menzel, or as John Travolta likes to call her, Adele Dazeem. Yeah. And also we have Evan Rachel Wood come into it as the mother. Yeah, I think Disney knows what they're doing, and I love that about them. So very good, very, very good, Disney. Well done. And I cannot wait to see what's next. Yeah, very, very good. And then let's move on to Hamilton. Hamilton. I mean, I had heard and listened to a bit of the soundtrack, mainly the first act, and I love it. I think it's just the cast is amazing in itself. You have Lin-Manuel Miranda as leading the fray as Alexander Hamilton. You just have this unbelievable group of people who have just come together for this. You have Leslie Odom Jr., you have Philip Sue, Daveed Diggs, who particularly shone for me, playing Lafayette and Thomas Jefferson. And I really enjoyed that. I think just the quarrels and the banter between Thomas Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton were just really great for the second half. Yeah, I think for Aaron Burr, I loved that actor. Mine's gone blank, and I'm really annoyed about that. Yeah, it's Leslie Odom Jr. Sorry. Yeah, and I think he was perfect for that role. And him, I think the complexity of that role in itself is just something to behold. I mean, like Aaron Burr, like the fact that this actually happened also blows my mind. Minus rapping and singing, obviously. But yeah, I think the fact that this actually happened, and then we had it in the stage where it happens. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I mean, I'm slightly ashamed of that joke, but yeah, I think I just adored this musical and just hooked every single second. And like, the staging, I loved the rotating stage. Like, it was so effective when Aaron Burr's giving out the his like pamphlets, and like when he's just running down the street. Two, when Angelica and Eliza are going round, and it just created so much scope and so like a perspective, and sort of the concept in Alexander's mind is just like, it's a genius that we can only sort of contemplate in our minds, that Lin-Manuel Miranda and everybody who has got into this, it was taken place in Hamilton, truly understand, and it's something to behold. Truly, truly is. Like, if you think that there is only just genius in cinematic directing, then you've got to see Hamilton, because you will be proved wrong. And yeah, I think that was honestly, that was one of the best parts of it. I think I couldn't believe how I mean, as a director, I was stunned, and it just made me wish that I could do this myself. And I am writing a musical, but I really wish that I could sort of create something like he has. And also, I'm turning into quite a fan of Anthony Ramos at the moment, who played John Lawrence and Philip Hamilton, and because he's in a show called She's Got a Habit, which is great. It's Spike Lee joint, as he likes to call it. If you've got Netflix, then I recommend that. And he is sure. Yeah, I think how he's able to do two very different roles, but also very similar, which I think is great about Hamilton, where the characters, like Lin-Manuel Miranda sees something about these characters which are similar, the similarities, but very different, which he manages to see that genius and put them together so that these same actors who played the characters in the first half can play them in the second half again. This makes Hamilton genius. This is just something that this is something that Lin-Manuel Miranda is just able to do, and also, of course, the other people who have created this show. And and that makes it truly unique and rare. I think it's a rarity that makes the show just so worthwhile to watch. And one of the many, 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 many things that makes Hamilton just one of the best shows that Broadway has ever had, and certainly the West End too. I wish I'd given it higher praise in the video that we did with the best musical now, honestly. And also, I have to talk about, before we leave, Jonathan Groff as the king. Oh, he gave his all. You could tell how sort of in the role he was, like his eyes, and sort of like there was a certain facial expressions that he pulled, and also just the way he asserted himself on stage. It was sinister, yet just so enjoyable to watch. And he had that down. He had the accent, the kind of monarchy, the sort of monarchy higher accents, which we all know and love from Stereotypes. But it's not really a stereotype, because he was playing King Richard III, and that was exactly what you need for that role. And just the way he strutted onto the stage, and when so many times which he just came on and just stole that stage. And he was just, honestly, master at that. He was just one of the best parts of the show for me, and he wasn't even in it that long. And that was something that made his personification of King Richard III. No, King Richard III? King George III. It's King George. Excuse me, everybody. That was bad. Oh, yeah. I hope he doesn't kill my friends and family now. Oh, yeah, he's dead. But yeah, I adored that role. And I would love to play it one day. I'm not going to lie. King George III is just true maniacal beauty in it, and just the comedic elements as well thrown in there, and just how he is so fixated in "You'll Be Back." Just with the eyes, if you saw his eyes, it was like he was glaring at the audience, just like, "You'll be back." And that was just, that's the kind of performance an actor dreams of. Yeah, I think everybody else was great too, don't get me wrong. But that was one of the main things that stole it for me. And also, of course, Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr, they, and also Lafayette and Thomas Jefferson. Those were my main personal favorites of the show. And they all have quite rightly gone on to do incredible things. And I'm really looking forward to seeing Lafayette and Thomas Jefferson. You know who I mean. I said it before. Daveed Diggs in Snowpiercer with one of my personal favorite Broadway stars, Lena Hall, who also I thought she was incredible as Yitzhak in Hedwig and the Angry Inch. And yeah, I think the fact that Snowpiercer has turned into such a musical cast, I really like that. I really enjoy it. But yeah, so that is basically all I'm going to say about Hamilton and Frozen 2. But yeah, looking back at this, I probably would say that I could do better. But hey, this was sort of on the spot, as you could probably tell. Not all videos are like this, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I feel like these two, I was very happy when they came on in the same day, because I had a lot of fun watching those. And I feel that they are both just classics in themselves, instant classics. And yeah, thank you, Disney. Thank you for putting up Hamilton and Frozen 2. And also, I was very surprised when you said when they let the S bomb drop, which I personally loved because I love swearing. That's something to say in the video. Yeah. And just hearing that in Disney, I think that kind of summed up a future for Disney Plus, which I'm actually very excited for. That they are not afraid to put stronger content on there, as well as all the Disney films that we love. And yeah, just I'm excited to see what comes next. And I'm obviously Marvel swear quite a bit, not too much, obviously, but I'm excited to see what stronger content we have next, and just it could make Disney into a real force to be reckoned with, because they have a lot of stuff that they own now, and that could be added on there because of that. So on that note, thank you so much for watching the ramble on, and please like and subscribe, and yeah, we will have more videos coming up soon. I've done some other videos before. I've recasted Star Wars with a couple of friends, as well as doing that in the greatest musicals. So we voted the greatest musical of all time, and Hamilton, of course, was on there, and Frozen the musical was also on there. So yeah, please, 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 yeah, click subscribe and get ready for more videos. Oh, and also my short series, which I wrote. Yeah, I write things, believe it or not. Join the Call, which is set in quarantine, is up on Facebook now as well, if you want to give that a watch. And thank you very much. And it's time to say goodbye one last time. Bye.